Are you a fan of Gremlins 2? Or what do we think? I mean, I remember when I saw the movie, I thought the projector broke.
Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan came out and complained to Paul Bartel. But that's kind of an underrated film. But I loved Gremlins 2.
Oh, no, I think Gremlins 2 is Joe Dante's best movie. I mean, to the degree that, I think it's... Joe Dante became a director so he could do Gremlins 2. He's always been a smart alecky kind of director. Because he's a smart alecky kind of guy. There always is a little bit of a Mad Magazine parody of his own movie running in the margins of a Joe Dante film. And with Gremlins 2, he was able to do a Mad Magazine takeoff on the first Gremlins for the entire movie, for the length of the movie. And it held for the entire length of the movie. But when they actually start goofing on every aspect of Christopher Columbus's original premise in the movie, in the sequel, that was hysterical about, okay, don't eat after midnight. Okay, so what if the Mogwai eats a roast beef sandwich at 11:45 and he gets some roast beef stuck in his teeth, at 12:30 it gets unlodged? Does that count as eating? What if Mogwai is eating an Eggs Benedict breakfast on an international flight and it crosses over into another time zone? Does that count eating after midnight? Or does it only count eating after midnight from the airport he left from?
Well, once Phoebe Cates started parodying the Santa Claus story,
that's great. The Phoebe Cates parodying the Santa Claus
I didn't
monologue.
know you were allowed to do that. I was like, are you allowed to make fun of your own movie? I remember seeing that going, they can't. You described it perfectly, that he was making the Mad Magazine parody version.
Well,
of
I think it's always been a little clear that Joe Dante has a little contempt for the first movie. It's just not his kind of movie. He wrestled it to the ground and made it his movie. But I don't even know if Joe Dante would see Gremlins if he didn't direct it. And, he's just too much of a Weisenheimer, all right, to not hate himself for shooting all the Mogwai stuff at the beginning. I think it seriously bums him out that was his biggest hit. So the idea to have complete revenge on your one fluke hit was just too powerful. And as opposed to like the first Gremlins, which recedes from the memory into like all those Amblin movies, Gremlins 2 just gets better every time you see it. Gremlins 2 works. It's really, really funny. In fact, I would even go so far as to say it's the first of those gag-like movies to 100% work from beginning to end since Airplane. Like, I like Top Secret and everything, but it doesn't quite work as a movie, but it's got a lot of funny gags. And there's a lot of movies that have a lot of funny gags that like don't take themselves seriously as movies. Airplane, because of the situation of the storyline, had a through line that you were able to follow. And so you actually did care about whether or not the plane landed or not. And in the course of Gremlins and New Batch, while it's just one joke after another, and it's not even just the jokes the people are saying on screen. It's the jokes going on in the background, the voiceover jokes going on here. What's on TV? What's this gremlin over there doing? That's like one of the things, like in Airplane 2. Airplane 2, the stuff in the foreground is not that funny. The stuff in the background is hysterical. Every joke in the background or off screen is a killer. But in the case of Gremlins and New Batch, no, you actually do care how it comes out. So it is a Mad Magazine spoof with a dramatic arc.
It's true. It's a beautiful way to put it. I think if people saw it under that lens, they'd probably appreciate it more.
Well, I think everyone sees it that way now. Look, it was accepted that way. It just wasn't a big hit. Gremlins 2, The New Batch is the only time Joe Dante ever got a rave review in The New Yorker.
I didn't know that.
You got a rave.
I just remember that he said it cost $60 million and it didn't make its money back.
Well, no, it didn't do well, all right? But the people who saw it were like, what? Is this even coming out of Hollywood? This is amazing.
I got my money's worth. Once Hulk Hogan and Paul Bartel were in the scene together and the projector broke, it was one of the best things I'd ever seen. I actually stood up and yelled the projector broke. I was the idiot that got fooled by that gag in the theater.
And then like you watch it on video. All right, then they redid the scene, so it's now the gremlin is in your video player.
Yeah, the videotape.
Yeah.